Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. And in the throne room, in the war room rendition, not going to be a long one at all. I got some knives in. I wanted to show you. Listen, we did a knife review, I believe on Friday, an actual demonstration. Loved it. It was the Montana Knives Blackfoot. Check that video out. Tested out really well. Listen, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere, especially on the weekend. The actual numbers are between 15 to 29. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. And dude, all that means, vets, all that means is this. We love you. You have a place here. In fact, we have a lot of vets who watch this channel. We're not a charity. We don't try to be. We're just trying to raise awareness about a tragic statistic. Okay, so all I want you to know is this. We love you. You're welcome here. I back to Blue over here. I support Leo. Now, over the past few weeks, I've come up with all these reasons why. Listen, here's the reason why, because I believe in it. I believe in it. I don't ask you to. I have a history with the police. I've been arrested, and I've been profiled. That being said, I have my reasons for doing it. I don't ask anyone else to do it. And before anybody says, well, back to Blue till it happens to you, it's happened to me more than it happened to you, I have my reasons. But it's also why, guys, with these causes, I say, they're mine. I don't ask anybody to support them or not support them. They're mine. It's part of the channel. It will always be part of the channel. Finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Okay. Sabo, you've heard that name a lot on here, sent me a box about 2 weeks ago of William Collins knives. Now, these are all knives that William made a few years back, right? Which is awesome because I'm going to do some demonstrations, some knife reviews on all of them. And when I'm done with these, I'm going to send them back to Sabo. I love this one, if you can't tell. And JR is going to send me a box of newer models. So we're going to do some from back at near the beginning to the most recent. And we're going to do a whole series on William Collins knives. William Collins is an American knife maker out of Texas. I got to spend a good bit of time with him last weekend at Blackie's gathering. The same gathering I cut myself. We'll talk about that a little bit. I don't want this to be super long. What I want you to know, guys, is this. I am super fired up about doing these reviews. Now, the other thing about this particular knife that looks more like a Parang than anything else is this is horse mat. The handle material is horse mat. Insanely comfortable. Now, the truth is it's got kind of a grip that I can drop my pinky on and get more of a Kukri style chop. What I'm going to do, the way I'm going to review this one is take it in the swamp. There's a lot of vines, old vegetation, things like that. We're just going to do a swamp video with this one. Cannot wait. The other few that he sent, I'm just going to run through them all. This is the one I cut my hand on, and this is what I want you guys to hear me very clearly on and understand. I'm thick-skinned, dude. I don't mind ribbing. I don't mind any of that, but I want to say this, and this isn't in response to anybody. This is just on my heart and mind. I'm not perfect. It ain't the first cut. It ain't going to be the last cut. I use a knife 7 days a week. No exceptions. I use my Swiss Army knife today to take out my stitches. I'm not perfect. I know some people are. I've never cut myself. Good for you. I can't tell you how happy I am for you. I've cut myself a bunch, and I'm going to. A bunch. What I believe in more than anything, and I love this knife. This is the one that bit me, but I love this knife. I love the sweet spot. And here's the beauty of this knife. All you got to do is lay it flat on a whetstone and it will sharpen the entire edge. You don't have to change angles. You don't have to do anything. It all sharpens the same way. I absolutely love that. The knife's very comfortable in hand. I'm going to test this one. I'm going to do a little chopping with it. I'm going to do a lot of slicing with it. Might do a little kitchen work with it. I love the feel in hand. I love that palm swell canvas micarta. Really, really, really excited about this. And really sitting and talking with William a lot last weekend, it gave me kind of a look into his mindset. We have a lot of the same ideas when it comes to like reviewing knives, demonstrating knives, that kind of thing. We want to bring back common sense to it. So what I'm going to do and try to do from here forward, and I've been trying to work this way, is show you actual use. At least actual use that I do. And then what I ask of everybody is this, because not everybody works in an industrial setting. Not everybody goes in the woods all the time. Not everybody camps. Everybody is different. But hopefully with the demonstrations that I do, and when I say demonstrations, we just don't call them testing. There's nothing that I do that's scientific. You know that if you watch the channel. But we cut up a bunch of shit. And my hope for you is this. You can watch that and go, you know, I don't do that, but I do this, and I can see where that knife is good for this. That's the hope. I'm not trying to sell you knives. I don't give a shit if you ever buy a knife that you ever see on this channel. This is a different knife channel. I didn't start it to show you the latest, greatest. I didn't start it to bring you every pocket knife under the sun. I started it to show you a bunch of different knives you may not normally see, bring you different makers, and show you the knife work. I also started it because I'm an addict and I want to do something productive with my time. That's why you see so much content. I don't give a shit about the algorithm. I don't care about, because people say, Scab, if you back up posting, you know, I don't care. I'm going to flood it because I enjoy doing it. I could put out content every day and that's what I'm doing. Why? Because I enjoy it. But my goal is to bring you realistic knife testing. Shit that you'll actually do, not shit that you'll never do. And show you the knife work. Might be some knives coming up, I can't make them work. It might be my skill set. It might be the design. But the other goal of this channel is this. We don't put knives down. I don't bash knives. I don't bash knife companies. Why? Because I've seen a bunch of reviews that say a knife's bad, and the only thing that's bad is that person's skill set. You know if somebody knows what they're talking about, okay? You know if somebody's actually used that knife. You know if they know how that knife works. That's why we're going to use a knife 7 days a week. I try to show you as much of it as I can for that reason. I don't want you to believe what you hear me say. I want you to believe what you see on this channel. And then as years go by, as you've grown more and more to trust my opinion and my testing and my things like that, then down the road, you might go, listen, dude knows what he's talking about. And my goal is that 5-6 years down the road, I'm the best in this business. That's my goal. I'm not trying to be the hippest, the coolest, the trendiest, the most swagger, the best. That's my goal. Will I get there? Don't know. I'm already best looking. So what more can you ask for? All right, next up. This one was a gift from Sabo. I love this knife. I took it with me. William actually honed it up for me. He's like, man, that knife ain't cutting like it should. I didn't want to tell him because I've cut everything every day I could with it. I adore this knife. The other thing that I don't want you to take from this channel is this. You don't have to like every knife, right? I'm not offended by that. I'm really not. I didn't name these knives. I didn't design these knives. I didn't make these knives. Your likes are your likes. I'm not going to bash you for yours. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I love this knife. I really do. I really do. Comfortable in hand for me. For me. It might not be for everybody, but for me it is. And that's where we're a little different too. I do things for me. I don't lie about it though. The Saner Scout. This one's so special to me because it's a William Collins, but it's also a gift from Blackie Thomas. Now, one thing William does is puts this thumb thing here on the Kydex. I've seen makers do that quite a bit. I'm very appreciative for it because all you do is pop your hand in, push, and it's right there. The Saner Scout. I love this knife. I love the weight of this knife. I love the balance of this knife. It's AEB-L. It is an absolute workhorse. I've got one, if not two reviews on this thing. It hadn't been sharpened in 2 years. It's just sharp as shit. And I'm going to hone it up here soon, strop it, and get it ready. I've got videos of these up. The first three that I showed you, you're going to see videos coming up. Here's one that I'm really, really digging. This one is unique, and I can't wait to check it out. The other thing I like doing is challenging myself with different knives. I'll get comments from all the time. I was going to say from time to time, but that ain't true. All the time. Oh, this won't work for that reason. This one, you ever use one? No, but I can. I won't hear that shit. The thing about Williams knives that I do appreciate, and I've learned to appreciate, yeah, they're a little different looking, but as soon as I put my hand on it, I'm like, oh, okay. I got it. This is what this does. This is why this is there. It's very easy to see once you hold the knife. And they're workers, they're workhorses. That's what they do. They're not trailer park queens, they're not beauty queens, they're not safe queens. These are made to work. He does his own heat treating, and I've done several hard use reviews on it. I can't wait to use this knife. I don't know what it is about it. I know it's a bit unusual. It's got a pretty good forward canvas micarta AEB-L, so I know it's sharp. Just really, really excited. So these 4 that you've seen are coming up. Now, that's for William Collins. The other thing, quick note on William. Sitting with William, Friday, I cut myself, but in a way, I'm glad it happened. Because had I not cut myself, man, I'd have run around that camp, spent a lot of time cutting, chopping, and I wouldn't have done the videos that I did. And I am forever appreciative. And listen, right now, there's a lot of channels. I watched a lot of videos today from big YouTube channels, not in our genre, but in other genres. One guy with 800 and something thousand viewers, subscribers, is thinking about shutting it down. He's just not getting the views. The thing is this, and maybe it's because, they do it for a living, and I understand they have to have certain parameters. That's why I'm thankful to have a job. There was a brief period there where I was like, well, I need to do this. I only put out this certain video. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put out what the hell I wanted. I put up 4 videos last week. All great interviews from great people, and you should check them out. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to put out videos. And I've had people say, well, Scab, if you put out less, I don't care. If it's on my heart, I'm going to do it. There's information that I want to share with you guys. And I don't sit here and go, man, they really need to hear from me. That's not it. But there's always some information. And in those 4 videos I did last week, I guarantee you there's information people can use. So I want to have them on my channel. So in talking to William, I got to know him a little better. I got to know his thought process a little better, not only about knives, but outdoors and survival and that kind of thing. He had a quote. He said, he hears a lot of people go, well, my grandpa, wouldn't use that knife. And William would say, well, I guarantee if he had access to it, he would. And he's right. Why? Because our grandpas wanted to use the most efficient tools for the job. Our grandfathers, our fathers, and things like that understood that knives were tools. They understood that it might take a different knife for a different job. They understood how to use it because they took the time to learn it safely, and they passed it on. That's where we want to go. It was great meeting William. Awesome dude. Can't wait to review his knives. Moving forward, I started a review today and just kind of run out of time. This is a knife designed by Sabo. This was his first attempt at a design. It was made by Battle Horse Blades. Give you a good look at it. G10 handle scales. Now, I think it's 01 tool steel. I think that's what Battle Horse uses. And it's called the Tactical Bushcraft Final Option Prototype 6. It reminds me a little bit blade style wise of the Ka-Bar Warthog. A little bit, okay? I am very excited to try this out. And Sabo, brother, thank you for entrusting me with a prototype that you designed. It's G10 handle scales, which is an incredibly, incredibly tough and durable material, handle material. Won't absorb blood, very tough, very durable. It's got a bow divot drill. I'm really, guys, looking forward to this. Part of the thing is this, and people sometimes mistake this for some kind of sales pitch. I get excited about knives like this because I'm looking forward to the challenge of showing you how it works if I can make it work. Very excited about this one. And I think it's going to cover the bases. I'm pretty excited. Battle Horse Blades, I like them a lot too. Lastly, and we'll wrap it up. I have, a couple weeks ago, I did a review on this little pocket cleaver, little EDC pocket cleaver from Jason Fleming, Straight Edge Knives. It tested very, very well. I was really surprised at how well it tested. I fell in love with it. I loved it. A couple weeks ago when Jacob Lamb was in town, he and I went over to Jimbo's. We were messing around, feeling with this thing, playing with this thing, and one other knife from Jason at Straight Edge. We called Jason. We made some suggestions, what we'd like to see maybe. Jason went straight out and forged this pocket cleaver. You can tell the difference in the handle. There will be a review on this coming up this week. We're going to see the difference. I'm super excited. That's what we got coming up this week. Now listen. I love you guys. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I hope he does. We're going to do knife reviews and demonstrations the rest of the week. Thank you for your time. I love y'all. God bless y'all. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son.